Hello again, coders. Um, what was I going to do? Right, controllers and things. So, the first thing you want to do, you want to go here where we have all of our instance stuff, and we're going to do some quick organization. So first, let's make this be our mechanisms, and then we can make this be our motors, and then we can have this be our controllers. Alright, so we're going to make a controller to start. The controllers in the code are called joysticks. So we're going to make a joystick. We'll call it controller1, and we want it to be equal to a new joystick in port 0. Now, if you don't know already, coding starts 0 for everything. So array starts 0, the length of something starts 0. The first lot of anything is 0, not 1. Get that in your head now. Just know it. You're going to get confused otherwise. It's a general theme of a lot of these things. We've got our new controller. Cool. What do you do with it? I'm glad you asked. We've got our mechanism here, but if you go to our teleop, we don't do anything with it. So let's do something with it. Let's make it spin in a fashion equal to our controller. Now, to do this, there's a method that I love that Miles hates called state. Okay? And the state method is my child. It's great, it's amazing, and we're going to use it for a lot of things. So, in our robot, let's make a new file called util. In this, we'll have methods that aren't really part of a subsystem of the robot, but that are still useful. So we'll go public class util. Now in util, we're just going to have methods, right? But because there's no util object, these methods are all going to be static methods. So let's make one. Public static state. Now we want state to take in two booleans, or two buttons, true or false values. So let's do it. Boolean forward and Boolean backwards. So, generally speaking, on a simple mechanism, you'll have one button for forward and one button for backwards. Oh. And we wanted to return an integer. Now, basically what this is going to do is you can pass in two buttons, one for forward, one for backwards, and it'll return either a negative number, a positive number, or 0, depending on what direction it should be moving in. So, we can make that comment. Returns an integer representing the desired direction based on two inputs. Wow, awesome. That's so cool. It's called state because it's the state of the motor, not because it's like a US state. That would be kind of stupid. So let's code it. So you guys are probably good at coding. Here's 5 seconds. You can code in the next 5 seconds. I'll be really proud of you on your own. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, really? You didn't do it? Okay, well let's do it together. So first, what you're going to say if forward, because it's a boolean. If it's true, it's true. Oops. Okay. If forward, then we want. Oh, let's make some variables first. Haha. Int direction equals 0. Okay. Now if forward, you're going to want to say direction plus plus, which just adds 1 to the variable. Plus plus is cool. Use it. And actually, we can have this all be on one line. Wow, cool. Now we also want if backwards, we want direction to become less. Now with this method, if you're pressing the forward button, direction will be +1. If you're pressing the backwards button, it'll become -1. And if you're pressing neither or both, it'll be 0. So now we want to return direction. Now the state method is complete. So let's save this and go back to robot. Now we're back in tele@periodic, right? And we want to control our mechanism 1. So what should we do? Let's go look at mechanism 1. We're going to want to use our turn method, which takes in a double for velocity. Now I know what you're thinking, but state returns an int, and yes, that's true. And we should probably change that, because it'll be easier. Wow, look at that. Now it's going to be easier. We won't even have to do weird casting. So now we're here, and we'll say, okay, we want our mechanism, we'll swing a new double. Let's call it mechanism 1 speed. Velocity for consistency. And we want that to equal the state and then we're going to have our two booleans, but we don't have those yet, so we'll just leave those blank for now. Actually, yes we do. I'm kind of a dummy. So we're going to want joystick, button, what? I'm kind of not the smartest ones. Our joystick is called controller1. We're going to controller1 dot get raw button value of, let's say, button 1 for now. And then in the second one, we'll do the same. Except this, the backward button, will be button 2. Right? So now this line is our mechanism velocity. But let's say that I don't want it just to be going full power forward or backwards. You would want to multiply this value by some decimal. Let's say 0.5. So now it will either be positive 0.5 or negative 0.5 based on the result of our state method. Now we want to actually assign this to the motor in the mechanism. So we'll go mechanism 1 dot set dot turn. Yep, I'm smart. And we'll want to do mechanism 1 velocity. I can spell. Wow, look at that. Now, if you had the robot with you and had built a mechanism 1, you'd be able to control it with your controller. Magic. Another quick note about this sort of process. Another thing we can do, because we declared spinner to be a public motor, we can do mechanism 1 dot spinner and access the spinner directly. So we could do things like get, set, or find encoder values off of the motor specifically instead of going through the class. But yeah, that was your basic, this is how you do controls in your tele@periodic.